So my name's Manoj, okay, and I used to be a surgeon. And I'm here today to talk to you about whatever it is we want to talk about, you know? Because you and I are the same human being, you and I. Okay?
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Though I've got a different skin color and white hair, and I'm older, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in what way do you think all of us in this room are different? And in what way, okay, well, how are we different?
Well, some of us are older, some of us are younger.
Okay. In what other ways are we different?
We're different genders.
Genders, yeah, we're different genders. And how else are we different?
Skin.
Skin color?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Eye colour.
Yeah?
And how tall we are.
How tall we are. Okay. Now, what other ways are we different?
Our personalities.
Our personalities are different. Why do you think our personalities are different?
Because we don't think the same way.
We
do think the same way, but some of us, we like different things.
Okay, so we like different things. And so now we're talking about our minds. In what way are our minds different from each other? Yeah?
They're in our heads, not anybody else's.
That is true. Yeah?
We think different thoughts.
We think different thoughts, right? Now why do you think we think different thoughts?
Because if we thought the same thought, it would always all be the same.
Okay. Anyone here? Why do you think our thoughts are different? Because, say, take the same movie, we'll all have a different view on it sometimes, won't we? Why do you think we'll have a different view on the same movie?
Because our minds think about it differently, so
Okay.
you may take it in a different way.
Right. Now, so we established that we're different because we look different. Skin color, maybe I'm older than you. Yeah. And we have different thoughts, different personalities. And would you say we've had different experiences so far?
Yes.
You've been on holiday to different places than me, or right? Your parents are different to my parents, and so our experiences are different, right? We might have different religions, yeah? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in all those ways we're different. Now, in what ways do you think we're the same? Yes,
We're
sir.
all people.
We're all people.
We all go to Staindrop Primary School.
I don't. So, but say all of us in this room, in what way are we the same? Yeah?
We've all been educated.
Okay. What other ways are we the same?
We're all human.
We're human. Okay. We're the same human being, right? Now, what about inside us? What are the things that are the same inside our bodies?
We all have an immune system.
That's a big word. Immune system, correct. We have an immune system. What else is common to us?
Our bodies will work in the same way.
Our bodies work in the same way. Like our heart works in the same way, doesn't it?
Yes.
And our knee joints and all our joints work in the same way. Got it?
Yeah.
Do you think our minds work in the same way too?
Kinda. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, tell me what you think. What do you think?
I think our minds are different in some ways, but in others they're the same.
Okay. So do you think the feelings that we have are the same?
No.
Okay. So why do you think they're different? In what way are they different? In what way are they the same?
In the same way, we're different because if one of us said something, one of us might get offended by it, one of us might not.
Okay, right. But the feeling of being offended is probably the same, right?
Yeah.
Or say, I'm afraid of spiders and you're afraid of the dark. Yeah? In that way we're different. But the feeling of fear is the same in us, isn't it? You think, or different? What do you think?
Probably the same. Sometimes different.
Okay.
If you were in the dark, but then like you knew someone was near you, you wouldn't be that scared. But if you saw a spider and someone was near you, like you would still be a bit scared because like you don't like spiders.
Now, do you think the feeling of fear in children and in adults, the feeling of it is the same? The cause might be different, but the actual feeling of it, is it the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what's the one thing that all of us in this room want to be, or want for our lives? You and the teachers and me, we want the same thing.
To be happy?
Right. We all want to be happy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the things that make you happy?
Like when all your family get together.
Okay. What else makes you happy?
My guinea pig.
Your guinea pig?
Reading.
Sorry?
Reading.
Reading.
Winning rugby matches with my team.
Okay. Rugby matches.
Playing football.
Playing football. What about Christmas is coming? Do you like Christmas presents? Does that make you guys happy?
Yes.
Some of them, okay. Not all presents. Yes?
Halloween?
Halloween is coming. That makes you happy? So, we've said all the different activities we like make us happy. Our pets make us happy. What about buying things? Is that... Oops, sorry, don't worry. It's just a bag falling. What about buying things? Does buying things make you happy?
Well, if they're for me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If it's just shopping now.
No, yeah. Okay.
I've got new shoes.
New shoes? Yeah. Ice cream? Ice cream make you happy?
Ice cream today.
Yeah?
We had ice cream today.
Okay. Now, how long does the pleasure last? So, say you have an ice cream, makes you happy, right? How long does the pleasure from an ice cream last?
About 10 minutes.
Until it's gone.
Until it's gone, yeah? Okay, now let's think of something else. Say,
Football?
football. When you play football, how long does the pleasure from playing football last?
About 90 minutes.
90 minutes and it's finished, right? Now, what about Christmas presents?
Oh. They don't last very long because as soon as you open them, the surprise is gone. You don't need to wait for anything else.
Ah, interesting. Okay. So, we're learning from each other here, okay? So we're learning that the pleasure from different things lasts a different amount of time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me
I
an
got it before.
What about holidays?
Until you leave the holiday.
It's finished, isn't it? Okay. But now somebody said something interesting. That say I'm going on holiday in say a month's time, right? So when does the pleasure begin and when does it finish?
It begins when you find out you're going on holiday.
Okay. And when does it finish?
When you've been on holiday.
And then does it finish straight after you come back?
No, sometimes it lasts a bit longer.
A bit longer, but then it finishes, right? So here we're learning something, that our pleasure lasts from the moment we know we're going to go on holiday, or we know we're going to buy something, or we're going to get a guinea pig, or whatever it might be, okay? But as soon as we get what we want, the pleasure finishes, right? Does that finish quickly? How do we feel once the pleasure ends? Say after you finished your ice cream, or you come back from holiday, how do you feel?
Bored?
You get bored, you feel bored, right? What else do you feel?
That's what I was going to say.
Sorry, okay. Anyone else? What do you feel once the pleasure finishes?
So a bit sad.
Just speak up a bit.
Bit sad.
You feel a bit sad. Yeah. So we feel bored, we feel sad. Do we also feel a bit restless sometimes? Yeah? Okay. Does everyone feel, do you think all human beings feel the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes.
What do you think?
I think some people, maybe somebody doesn't really like a gift but another person would, and they would play with it for a long time but the other person wouldn't. For, like, it would only last like that, that pleasure would only last like a bit, and then for the other person it would last a long time.
Okay. So in some people it would last a short time, in others it would last a long time. So you've said something very interesting, that pleasures don't last for a long time. And then when they finish, sometimes we get bored and feel sad. What do we need to do next? Once we feel bored and we feel sad, then what does the mind need to do next?
Find a new pleasure.
You need to find a new pleasure, right?
Open another.
You open another one. Or you say to your parents, hey, I want to buy something more, right? But do you think there's anything where pleasure lasts forever?
No.
No, doesn't really, does it? Yeah. Okay, so we're learning that the mind needs to repeat the pleasure, right? Yeah? We learned that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a mind, and are we aware of this, by the way? Are we kind of aware that I'm excited, my pleasure's finished, I'm bored, I want another
Yes.
pleasure? Or is it just happening in the background?
No, sometimes it happens in the background, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, what do you think? Are you always aware?
Not always.
No. So what do you think adults get pleasure from?
Getting a new car?
A new car. Now, do adults want to keep changing their car on a regular
They're quite
basis?
expensive.
It's a bit expensive, isn't it?
Watching rugby.
Watching rugby. Okay. So the mind wants to keep repeating its pleasures, right?
Yeah.
And in some cases, it's pretty harmless. Like if you want to just go for a walk,
Yeah.
in the woods, that can bring pleasure. Yeah. Or play with the guinea pig, But suppose you keep buying things all the time, right? Because your mind is used to buying things. Suppose you buy something that makes you happy, then you go and buy something. But next time, how is it got to be different?
You'll get bored of just keep going to the shops and getting stuff.
Okay, but if you're a bit bored, then what do you need to do next time?
Get a longer lasting toy.
You need to get a longer lasting or
Or a better one.
a better one. A better one is always a little bit
More expensive.
more expensive, right?
Small, better. But if you keep buying and buying and buying stuff, you're going to end up with no money at all.
Yeah, you'll end up with no money. Or
You get spoiled.
if you may end up with no money at all, or if you have you heard of credit cards?
Yeah.
What happens if you spend all the money on credit cards buying things?
You won't have any money to buy food.
You won't have any money to buy food. That's very good. It's true, but it happens. So sometimes, do you think that our need for pleasure makes us buy things, pushes us to buy and buy and buy, and then as you say, we might run out of money and not have enough food to eat? Yeah? And it can push us into debt, can't it? Yeah? Because I know I like buying books, for example. And even though I've got enough books, I'll always pass a bookshop and want to buy another one. Right? Okay. So what have we learned so far about pleasure and being happy? Anyone? What have we learned? We've been talking to each other for a while. What have we learned so far?
That buying stuff gives you the pleasure to be happy,
But
but the pleasure is over once you've used it or you've just opened a present
yeah,
and
it's finished, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then the mind needs to. What does it feel after that?
It wants more.
It wants more. Yeah? Okay, so now what impact do you think that has on the planet? If we keep on buying things because we're constantly needing pleasure, constantly go on holiday, buying new clothes, buying new cars, What effect does that have on the planet?
The more things we buy, the more factories they build, and the more pollution.
More pollution, okay. Anyone else? What happens, what impact does buying things because we need them, we think we need them, don't we? What effect does that have on the planet?
Greenhouse gases.
Hey, very good. How do we get increased greenhouse gases?
Because when you go on a holiday, your car will use fuel and also boats
Yeah,
and planes,
correct.
which make greenhouse gases, and making the items in factories they use fuel and stuff.
Correct. Cause pollution, use greenhouse gases. And what is that causing to the planet? Increased greenhouse gases, do you know?
It destroys our planet.
It's destroying your planet. Is that a good thing, you think?
No, definitely. Because
No.
then we won't have any pleasure anymore because we'll just be dead.
Because you know, it's going to be, okay, and what else is it causing? It's destroying our planet, and it's, have you heard of this word?
Global warming.
Global warming. So what we've discovered, one of the causes of global warming in our conversation today. And what's that?
Pleasure.
Pleasure, right? The human need for pleasure makes us buy things and go on holiday and consume things. Not wrong, but we do it without realizing it, see? And if we do too much of it, it's contributing to pollution and global warming, right?
Yes.
So what do you think then is the solution? Have a think. What do you think could be the solution to global warming? Okay, we've got some really good answers. Hands up, I love that. Yes.
To stop using one-use plastics.
You could stop using one-use plastics.
Try find new pleasures that don't cost anything.
Okay, give me an example of that.
Walking in the woods or going swimming.
Perfect, really good. Okay, anyone else coming from this understanding we've got now, what do you think is a solution or one of the solutions to global warming?
Try and buy something and then get it to last quite long, so you don't have to buy loads more at a time.
Okay. But we've been talking earlier about how when our pleasures end, we feel bored and sad, and we need to repeat them. Right?
Yeah.
What are we going to do about that? Because that's from inside us, right? What do you think is the answer to that? Because that's what that boredom is driving the need for pleasure, which is driving us to buy things, which is driving global warming. So what is the answer to that? How are we going to solve that one?
Could you try and get something that lasts like a bit longer? Or maybe find a different pleasure?
Okay. All right. What's any other possibilities?
Try and find a pleasure that won't end. Like there's nothing to stop you from going for a walk in the woods or going for a swim in the river.
Yeah, you could go for a walk in the woods or a swim in the river. But if you do feel bored, is there an answer to boredom? Shall we talk about boredom? Do you all feel bored occasionally? Sometimes? Yeah? What's the answer to boredom? What can we do about boredom?
Find something to do.
Okay. Have you ever tried? Yeah?
Fun.
Okay, you go on the phone. What else do you do when you're bored?
Sometimes like watch something.
You watch something?
TV.
TV?
You just sit there doing nothing.
You do nothing, okay.
I read a book.
Play with toys.
Now, when you sit with your boredom and you do nothing, okay, what happens? How do you feel? Have you ever been bored and stayed bored?
Yeah.
Or have you always been bored and wanted to do something?
Yeah. I've always been bored and wanted to
You've always been bored and wanted to do something. Adults are the same. See, that's what I meant. Kids and adults are the same. We're no different from you, right? But have you ever sat down and say, I'm bored, and just relaxed and been with that feeling? Have anyone tried that?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What happened when you felt that? When you sat there, when you're bored and you just stayed with that feeling, what happened to it?
Not much.
Not much? Okay.
It went away.
It went away. How interesting.
Sometimes that happens to me.
Sometimes that happens. Okay.
Just sit there, do nothing, and then after I'm like, oh, I'm not bored anymore.
You're not bored anymore.
I just kind of daydream and my boredom just goes away.
Okay.
Sometimes I just do that to just relax and feel that I can just relax without anyone judging me.
Interesting. So interesting. These children. My goodness. You guys are so wise, I always say kids are smarter than adults, I betcha if we had adults in this room, we wouldn't get these really good answers from them.
I don't get it.
Right?
You can learn from us.
Okay. Now, so we've learned something really interesting from this young lady here, which is that if you're bored and you just sit quietly with your feeling of boredom and don't do anything with it, it sometimes can go away. I've tried that and it's true. Yeah? You understand?
Yeah.
Now that's quite a discovery, Are you going to try that and see?
Yeah, when I do that.
Yeah? You going to try that? Next time you're bored, just be quiet with that boredom. Sit quietly and see what happens to it. Okay? It just often goes away. So now just see the beauty of what you've just suggested, which is that if you're bored and you can find a solution for your boredom, right? Then you don't have to search for pleasure, and then you don't have to go and buy stuff. And then if you don't have to go and buy stuff,
You have global warming.
you won't have you'll make a difference, right? Do you understand? See what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think that's an amazing thing to have learned today?
Yeah, very.
Yeah?
Quite amusing as well.
Sorry?
It's quite amusing as well.
Amusing, okay, tell me why.
Because you're learning new things and you're going to try out new things.
Yeah.
And you're trying to help your planet at the same time.
So you're learning about yourself, right? And it's helping the planet at the same time.
Yeah.
See the beauty of it?
Trying new stuff.
Okay. So shall we just end by each person telling me one thing they've learned? Okay. So what have you learned?
That adults and kids are often the same.
Adults and kids are often the same.
That when you're bored, if you just sit and in silence, the boredom will go away.
Very good.
I've learned that on a new way to stop global warming.
You've learned of a new way to stop global warming. And the answers have come from you, by the way, not from me. Well, it's interesting. We've started today just learning about how our mind works, right? Because we said our mind works in the same way, didn't we, when we first started? So the nature of pleasure is the same in all of us, in all human beings, in kids and adults too. So we're going to continue this journey of discussing, exploring, inquiring into how our mind works. And we're going to see what we can learn. Okay? And we're just going to do it together as friends. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.